Hey everyone, welcome to Worship Artistry. I'm Jason.
And I'm Nick.
Nick, have you ever gotten stuck?
Yeah, I mean, heading I almost got stuck in my driveway this morning. Heading here, actually.
You know, maybe just on the way to a gig.
Yeah, on the way
in
to
a
a
van,
gig.
the wheels fall off.
The trailer wheels just, what? Those are passing us. What the heck?
Well, this video is about van maintenance. I digress.
We digress, yeah.
No, actually, I'm more thinking musically.
Oh, yeah.
You ever
dude,
get stuck musically?
all the time. I guess I'd call it a plateau.
Sure.
Man, it stinks. Because, like, 1 week or month or a year even, I'm like, I'm feeling great about my life. I'm feeling great about how I'm going with the guitar. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, no.
You're like, why have I played the same thing 30 times in a row?
Yeah, that's what bothers me. Gosh.
I was a private guitar teacher for a very long time.
Yeah.
Right? And so you just kind of see it happen
Yeah.
all the time. A lot of times people come to you because they're just like, dude, I've been doing the same thing for a long time. How do I do something different?
Right.
And I actually even had a good friend of mine who's in a band in Seattle, called me out of nowhere and was just like, dude, you teach guitar. What do I do? Like, I have just been playing the same thing. And he's a great guitarist, great singer. And he was just, I'm like, you don't need, he wanted to do lessons. I'm like, you don't need lessons for me. What are we doing? He's like, well, tell me something to do. And I was thinking about the fact that, you know, you taught me that riff before.
Yeah.
Where you kind of broke me out of my typical scales the way I do them.
Yeah.
All right. We've got a video about that.
Yep.
And that was really helpful for me because
good.
I immediately started trying different things that I hadn't done.
Yeah.
And that's the number one thing I always tell people when they're when they're plateaued.
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter if you try something way harder or do some crazy thing that sounds super cool. It's just about breaking the patterns in your brain that you've already established.
No, it makes sense, yeah.
Right? And so I was thinking, you know, you taught me this thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of talking to you about it a little bit, and
Yeah.
you were like, I've never done that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you what I told him,
Okay.
and maybe that'll help you break out of whatever ruts you're in.
Because honestly, for the viewer, I am absolutely in a rut right now. I've been doing all right.
A rut of awesome.
No, I just feel a rut of terrible. And I don't know what it is. So really, truly looking forward to this because I've not learned any of this. I don't even know what you're really going to teach me. So
Okay. So I actually learned this exercise in a book. It was, I wish I could tell you what it was. It was years ago. It was in a book that tells you how long ago it was.
did you say something about like Hal Leonard on it?
I don't think it was Hal Leonard. It was like how to be a shredder or
Oh,
something
yeah,
along
gotcha.
those lines.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I want to do that. And I thought about that for about 10 minutes. It's like, I don't think that's my thing.
That's not me.
It's not me. It's okay. But essentially what it was different ways to go through a scale in a single position.
Okay. Yeah.
Because here's what we normally do, right? I'm going to go basic, major scale, Ionian mode position or whatever. So I'm going to go key of C. I'm starting on my 8th fret.
Okay.
All right. This is how people normally go through, right? It's just
Yeah.
up and down that. But instead of going through it, we're going to do some different patterns.
Okay.
That all actually have a purpose to them. So you're familiar with that scale, right? Just like,
Yeah. I just play a little different, but yeah.
I want you to play it like this.
Yeah, teach me the way you do it.
Because that's what we're trying to do here. We are going to start in the 7th position,
7th position.
which means our pointer finger would play a note on the 7th, but our first note is actually on the 8th fret.
Okay, because I
Okay.
would not have known what that meant.
All right, there you go.
Perfect.
So position is always where your index finger is.
Oh, okay.
And ideally, you're doing one finger per fret.
Okay.
At least when I'm a guitar teacher, that's what I'm telling people because I want to be able to communicate.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so we're just going to stay in one position. We're not going to do any big stretches.
Okay.
Okay, we're just going to go 8th fret, 10th fret, then index, middle, pinky, and then index, ring, pinky. That's it. We're just going to do one octave for now. Okay, so just... All right, there you go. Dude, I feel like I just went to like a music class. Like we're just,
Yeah, that was super cool.
all right, that's so cool. But now what we're going to do is we're going to jump up it in thirds.
Okay.
Okay, so what that means is essentially we're skipping a note.
Okay.
So we go forward 2 notes, back 1, forward
Okay.
2, back 1. And so that's going to sound like this.
I don't know if I can do that. So it's
So
so
Yep, so
So that's the first 4. Show me the first 4.
okay. I'd like to point out that is the best way to learn things.
Okay.
Show me the first 4.
Okay.
Don't talk to me for 2 hours.
I try to break it down.
Yeah, that's what you should do. So right, and then right.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be difficult.
don't worry, we're doing it.
I can get it.
There you go.
Gosh.
Almost. The point of this is to break you out of the things that you've been doing.
I do not do this.
Right,
ever.
exactly.
I'll get it. 2 days later.
we're wearing different clothes. I'm just like,
Our demeanor's very much like, just get it right, Nick.
I swear.
So.
Yep.
Man.
The middle. Last one.
Is that right then?
Yep.
Okay, so. Now you're just showing off.
I will not say how much time I spent reminding myself how to do this morning.
I will.
Before I got here.
I should have been paying attention when you were doing it. Gosh.
Right? It's weird, right?
I'll get it.
Yep.
I'll get it.
Yes!
Oh! Yes! The video's over. We nailed it.
Now that we've spent time on that, now let's break it.
Okay.
So then, what you do is you start playing around.
Okay.
You start throwing in some arpeggios.
Okay.
All right. So an arpeggio is playing. In this case, is going to be the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th.
Okay.
Major 7th. Right. So it's going to sound like.
Okay.
It's just like torture.
It's just so out of my wheelhouse.
So
I love it.
yeah. So we're gonna.
So.
The ring finger on here. Get that major 7.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Right.
I can do that one.
I thought you always palm me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's just
No, it's good. It's
so
good.
percussive.
No, it's good. It's cooler than me. Then you start playing around with it.
Yeah.
Right. So then you start going up one way and down the other. So you can start.
Yeah.
Or. You start kind of like playing around with those
notes in, yeah.
using those different pathways.
Yeah.
And the thing that's cool about it is it's funny, before I started doing the exercise, I would tend to just run up and down the scale or spend time in one spot. Using those thirds and just my ear getting used to hearing those runs, I just started playing those more.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'll use them in different positions. So, if I'm in some kind of more pentatonic kind of a feel.
Yeah.
Right? You kind of
keep going.
Yeah, you just kind of hear those notes.
Right.
Oh, you do runs up, or don't go down more than I go up.
yeah.
But that's just a way to use that.
Gotcha.
Same thing with using those arpeggios. I'm not a big arpeggio user. I like to rake through them, kind of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what that's called.
Yep, I like that.
That's cool.
But people talk a lot about target notes.
Yes,
They're
do.
always like, "What are the target notes of this solo?"
Just
And
give
I'm
me the
like,
target notes.
The one that sounds good.
Amen.
That's how I think about it.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah.
But okay, so that arpeggio, I don't usually go to that major 7. It's very kind of jazzy sounding.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think of that note very often when I'm soloing. But if I start, it's a whole different flavor.
Yep.
Than what I normally do. Now, do I sit there and play everything like jazz? No, I don't really listen to jazz. I don't put a lot of swing on things.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't know it by my playing.
I look at you when you're in your basement. I'm like, that's a jazz musician.
This is kind of a natural thing for me to just go like, oh, I'm getting stuck.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to start doing that. And I do know my modes. I do that in every mode.
Mhm.
And if you think about, even just you were like, what's an arpeggio, thinking
Yeah.
about the arpeggio. Well, if you wanted to, you could play around going up the whole, here's your C, and then
Ah, yeah.
right? And just literally go through every chord shape that way.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, you start hearing different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about hearing different things and making your fingers do things that are really uncomfortable. You were very uncomfortable.
I was very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So if you were to play some stuff, you want to just like play a little,
What chord progression would you want me to play?
like just go between C and F or something.
C and F.
I'm trying to stay in like one zone. It's so hard.
It's hard, yeah.
To just naturally stay in
So-
one spot. But even so,
Yeah.
that was total noodling. I would never actually do that
Sure.
in a live situation.
But
But
I-
I'm not a noodler.
I think it's wonderful to learn the arpeggios and the scales and definitely know them, but don't learn them so much that it's muscle memory. Every time you go, all right,
Right.
key of C, do, 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 do.
Yeah, for me, it's way more. You know, as a weird example, right? Just see, not playing this thing, right? But for me, it's more about how I hear solos.
Okay.
Right. So
yeah.
I'm hearing different intervals, and I'm hearing
That makes sense.
different notes. I'm still kind of noodling around.
Yeah.
I like. You and I play guitar very different.
Very different.
You're
yeah.
like yours is cool because yours is melodic
Oh, thanks.
and also very technical.
Huh.
Like you're like fast and do all this stuff. At my heart, I'm a songwriter.
Yeah.
I like to find something, like I usually find most of my solos like this.
I'm just like, hope I don't mess up. Like,
Yeah, but the thing is, yours looks so much cooler.
when I don't mess up. Yeah.
So for me, when I'm going through these scales and arpeggios, all I'm trying to do is hear different stuff.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So that when I want to sit down and solo,
that's the
that's the thing. Yeah,
yeah.
that's the thing. It's very easy to just once again fall into patterns.
Yeah.
So
very easy.
that's kind of more. It's just kind of what you're trying to accomplish.
Learn this first, though. Learn this thing that he's teaching me because, as you saw, I wasn't kidding. I couldn't play it. So I have to literally learn this almost every time I play it now because I can't just practice it. I can't just...
Right. You know what you can do though? Can I
Yeah.
throw one little tip at you?
No, absolutely, because I was
Or
literally trying
one of
to
the
play
things
there.
that was hard was that you were learning. You were not only just learning different movements to a scale, but you were learning a different shape of a scale.
Correct, yeah.
You can do these same things with the scale you already know, right?
True.
So you could
Oh, yeah.
that sort of a thing too. That's a big stretch for me.
Yeah.
So I always do it the other way.
True.
But if you wanted to kind of start hearing that, that's another thing that you can
Yeah.
do.
And I think that's one cool thing about the scales as well is like you learned your scales differently than I did. Is he wrong? Am I wrong? The answer is no.
Pretty sure they're the same notes.
They're the same notes. It's just different how to play it. So when you're learning something, kind of slow down what's happening. I even believe on YouTube you can slow it down, right? Like half or whatever. Slow it down and really see where our fingers are going. We're trying to give you the best we can. But also, one of the biggest resources that we have available to you is our website. We have all kinds of tutorials. We have all kinds of song lessons. And within those song lessons, how much do you teach on guitar, really?
So every song lesson, yeah. I mean, I'm talking about which fingers I use, where, like, how that should sound. We talk about tone for every song, and there's also some other lessons in there. Like, there's one on modes.
Correct. Yep.
You know, so it's like if you're just like, dude, I just want to get working on this. Sometimes it's just about moving your fingers.
Yep.
And the things that we always do is we have these practice loops, so you can play along. If you really want to get something, you play along with it.
Correct.
If you are just like, oh, if you listen to it and then go, oh, okay, cool, I'll try, you're not going to get it.
No.
Like, put it on loop, sit there and just do the same thing.
Correct.
And you'll feel it happen.
Yeah.
Like, you'll literally feel your body, your fingers, everything. Like, I'm in the pocket. I'm in the pocket, and this is different.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't use that. So anyway, Worship Artistry has, I think I counted them up today. It was like 677
This
songs.
is ridiculous.
I was doing a little research.
Right around 700. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So there's a lot of songs, and we're adding them all the time.
Yep. And there's all kinds of learning opportunities within all of those resources. So definitely check it out. 21 days for free at worshipartistry.com. But subscribe, please. Hit that bell to be notified because we're putting out these videos every single week, all the time. And we are so thankful for everybody who has been following along, liking, commenting, and sharing our stuff. Seriously, we can't thank you enough. But we will see you guys in the next video.
See you next time.